people are sometimes. And all right, we didn't start yet, but we're getting ready to start. It's almost 7:30. Mrs. Comics in the house. Caesar has been helping me do everything, including he's riding right here with me now. He's gonna be right. Oh, it's 7:30 now, so let's turn this thing on. All right, here we go. There's a live scene. How do you do, folks? Raymond Amish Comic here, streaming live from our living room. Mrs. Comic in the house over there. Caesar right here. And it's interesting that he would be here right away because not only has Caesar embraced streaming live, but really he helps me do everything that has anything to do with any kind of business work, or he helped me with my taxes. He helped me order Sparks concert tickets. He helped me post some TikToks. Because he thinks my hands are the toy. See, he's ready to go. So this keyboard, he loves MacBook. Anything here goes like that. He's ready to rock and roll. Now, before we get to that, couple, three, four things. Shout out to Richter. It's hard for me to get my ass in gear to live stream. So shout out to Richter because I like to have a theme. And if I don't have a theme, it's harder to stream. And comedy in April has kind of sucked Matt shit balls, and that makes me a little but we're doing all right. Well, then I have to push myself, and then I remember Richter doesn't give a flying fuck if there's a theme or not. Richter's like, just fucking babble with no fucking plan. So fuck it, that's what we're gonna do. And Richter, much as I appreciate that, um, many people in our family would disagree with you that me just babbling on and on and on for an hour is not the greatest idea, but they're not really here in the Unshunned group, so that's more of a lesson for me for the picnic and family get together. So there's that. Um, Shamelessly whoring myself here. This probably won't work, but I have a new TikTok called The Real Amish Comic. Not because I'm famous, but because I was hacked. Those I don't even know how that skew thing works, but if you go on TikTok and put in uh, The Real Amish Comic and the number one, Real Amish Comic 1, that's me. I'm trying to rebuild that. Saturday, I will be way up north at the Sayre Theater. It's way the fuck up. It's probably pushing close to Canada. It's way the fuck up there. That's a 7 o'clock show. It's a theater show. Theater shows kick ass. The ticket links and all that shit are in my link tree. Amish comic, and I think that's posted somewhere. Everywhere it's posted. I don't really know. So I got a few stories to tell right here. I made some notes, but let's go to our new favorite thing. I don't know if she's watching, but our daughter Josie and her husband Al, fans of the show, supporters of the show, told us about a live baby eagle cam that you can see right there. It's a YouTube channel, and Caesar absolutely loves it. I was skeptical because they don't really do much. They just kind of sit there and they eat a teeny tiny little bit. Um, it's actually quite fascinating. And eagles, so check that out. That's YouTube. I actually put the link for that in the description of tonight's live stream. So I dropped that link in there. And one more shameless plug I'm going to do right here. Because this is actually kind of like a really cool thing if I can find it. I seem like I was more prepared. Now where did I picture? Oh, right there. Okay. That's my rock star buddy, Chris Barron from Spin Doctors. We were both younger then. That's a show at Penn's Peak where I suckered him into opening for me for $200, a bottle of Jack Daniels, and a Snickers bar. And I have a whole bunch of stories about that, but I don't know if I'll get to them tonight because Spin Doctors are actually in Poland, I think, at a music festival, and they're doing something really cool. I didn't put the link in because I'm a dick. There's going to be a free concert of Spin Doctors on YouTube tomorrow, but because of the time change, I think I flink. I think it's around 11 a.m. Eastern time. So that's like a really cool thing. And when you watch it, you don't have to put in the chat. The Amish guy said to watch it because it's too embarrassing. So there's a plug right there. And let's see here. Now we go back to, I got the Eagle cam right there. And we go back to, see, you see that? He put a paw, that's paw is on my knee. Because he's ready for us to do shit. Aren't you? Now let me tell you why it's so hard to get anything done at all. Because, as I said, he really loves to help me. When I open up this MacBook, which was fan funded, thank you very much, to do anything, Caesar does this. He hops right up, and when my finger is going at keyboard, he is ready to bang some shit out. So everything takes extra long. There needs to be a diversion. And sometimes when he's taking a snooze, just the act of me opening up the MacBook gets him all worked up. And he has to make sure it's all marked up well and good. There's that. So he's really been helping with every single thing that there is. We love this guy. This is, to make no mistake about that. If I complain about him, it's just because we love him so much. What this guy did, sometimes when you wake up and you can't get a cup of coffee yet, or something happens to wake you up. Okay, a couple days ago, and he actually saved us because Mrs. Comic and I did not hear the wasp in the bedroom window. He's ready to go now. He's really ready to go. And so he was growling at the wasp, which we couldn't hear. Mrs. Comic's trying to figure out what the fuck is he growling at. So we looked over there. Wasps are fucking nasty. So he's growling at the wasp. We don't want him stung by a wasp. We don't want any of us stung by a wasp. So Mrs. Comic picked up this big son of a gun and carried him out like a baby. He was hanging over her shoulders. He was all excited. He wanted to help me slay the wasp. So we got the wasp in our bee cups, put him out in the bushes. It was very exciting. But this guy, he absolutely helps with everything. You are really checking out my hands. He's really ready to go here. And he might, if he sounds pissy and bitey, he doesn't mean anything by it. It's how he communicates. And so if you hear anything, just cut him some slack because he's still learning all the niceties of communication. And I'm actually still learning them too. So he got to learn them from me. And if I got some rough edges, what are you going to do? So we have that. Now we're on the cat block here. Okay, so we're on the cat block. Let's get a Rico report. Rico, I'll play with you. Just hang on. If I have to go and shut the stream down to play with the cat, I'll do it. I mean, I would feel a little bad. Rico, the wobbly rescue cat that her daughter and her partner rescued. I get to play with him, Mrs. Comic, a lot. We cat sit him because he's not really in the whole house yet. This is the weirdest move I've ever seen. On the right, there's the fuzzy balls and all the springs and shit go under that thing. And I crawl under there to whip him out with a stick. And he helps me. I have never seen a cat move like that. He seems like he's on a trackball and getting pulled backwards like his ass is on a wheel or some shit. It's the craziest fucking thing. Well, Rico is doing absolutely fantastic. So we've got that going on. That's update right there. I don't know if you Peckeries can hear this or not. I'm going to be a real dick. I think you can hear this. I'm in trying to rebuild my TikTok. I'm pulling out some old video. Richter, you'd be able to help me out with some classic moments. But this is a thing that's really getting a lot of buzz.
5 of these remote controls, you'd have to turn them on in exact order or things would go wrong. And one could be missing. And you could just be fucking one away. And you can't watch dick until each one of them fucking 5 remote controls has the right fucking setting. And so you have the 1, 2, 3, 4 a set, and then the 5th one. Who has the 5th one? Then we started accusing. I've started accusing. You had it last. Let's go to Mrs. Comic. You had it last. And then we look all around, and we pick the cushions up, and we look in the fucking cushions. Then, of course, it turns out that I had it last. And so now the problem is that my ass changed one of the settings. So when I hit the 5th remote control button, we still don't have no fucking TV because my ass fucked up.
So that clip is getting a lot of action on TikTok. So I want to thank you, the unshunned live stream audience, because I just pulled the ultimate dick move right there. I just, instead of streaming to live, I just played a fucking video clip of a TikTok I did from an old live stream clip. But Richter, you'll be in charge of helping me sort out some of the older classic moments from the live stream, and I'm definitely trying to beef up my TikTok. So we have all that fun stuff going on. Now, out of nowhere, I didn't even want to go this. Yeah, I got some more shit up my sleeve. Let me check in my notebook here to see what's been going on. Caesar has decided to go for a walk. He might be in a window. Did he go? Did he go up?
He's on top of the chair, I think. Isn't that him behind you?
His ass is right there. Mrs. Comic greatly pointed out that there's a cat's ass in my face, and I'm too fucking stupid to know it. So thank you very much. That's one of the reasons I married her, so she could let me know when a cat's ass was in my face, and I didn't really know it. So there's that. Thank you very much. Let's see here. What the hell? I wrote something down here. Oh, I put the box. So we put the new box there. When there's a new box, I think you've heard Caesar put holes in it. It's his hole punching teeth, and he goes all around the box. And then when there's holes all around the box, then it gets to be boring. And so when there's a new box, in fact, we had it sitting right on the sofa over here to get ready for the live stream show, and he was going to hold it there. Now it's right under the camera, and when he holds it, if he holds it, you'll be able to hear it. But of course, he's not going to cooperate with the live performance. But back to the don't forget to check out that baby eagle cam, because I've been fascinated with this shit. Eagles figured out parenting. Let me explain that to you. They have baby eagles in the nest. One of the parents is mostly there all the time. When they start going fucking nuts, you can hear them screaming for the other one, and the other one comes back. And sometimes it's both of them, and it's very rare that they don't have either one of them on baby eagle guard duty. But they don't really do much, and so they stand guard, and that's really excellent parenting. They just stand guard and they feed them, and they're actually just waiting for them to fucking grow up and move out. That's really parenting 101 right there. Feed them, make sure nothing kills them, and when they grow up, get them the fuck out of here. I don't recommend that as a regular parenting thing. Rick is coming in with the bride. Well done, sir. I was surprised that Caesar was so entertained by this baby eagle channel, because not a lot goes on, but cats see shit, and there's a little. And Mrs. Comic, she gets all worked up. She actually does commentary, like if a feather moves or a foot, or if they feed them worms and all kinds of shit. So that's definitely worth a watch. It's nice background. Maybe your cats will like it. Maybe they won't. I don't really know. So I'm babbling up away here. I'm going to have a toast to April being over for stand-up comedy. Holy fuck me in a bucket of goo. Here's to Unshunned. And that. Also, Caesar doesn't drink, but he really likes the smell of bourbon. I think it's because of like the sweet, chocolatey nut flavors and all that stuff. So here's it. When I make a toast, I should actually toast. There's this comic over there toasting. She's got wine. I want you to think Mrs. Comic's over there drinking my good bourbon. But she could if she wanted to. All right, so there's that. Babbling up a storm here. Readers of crazy good books. What's that bot? What's the bot book? What's
Murderbot.
Murderbot book series is really a fun read, and it's turning into an Apple TV show, which I'm still pissed off about them on account of seemed like I got cut out of Dope Thief. But so that's a fun read. Get ready for the show. Mrs. Comic and I also got hooked on Righteous Gemstones. It's a comedy. It's religious. I can't warn you about anything, because that ruins half the fun. And if you watch that, it happened to me and Mrs. Comic, and it should happen to all of you too. It's very tightly written, and it doesn't seem it because it's really stupid. It's like TV preaching family, but it's really slick writing. I actually want to go back and do a rewatch to hear some of the tightly written dialogue. But then I also must be subjected to that which I can't tell you about because it's spoilers. Uh, so when that happens, and you curse me, don't fucking curse me because I didn't put those things in there. They just appear every so often, and we really haven't figured out why. So you're all too curious now. Every episode, a dick comes out. How about that? A dick for no apparent reason. Somebody's dick is out. Every fucking episode, and it's not even sexual. It's just all of a sudden, they when they got the scripts and the cast and everything, I don't know if they were like excited that this week would be their dick out. I guess if you had a nice package, you'd be waiting for a dick to come out turn, or if you were a little embarrassed about your junk, or the family seeing your junk, like, oh fuck, it's my week to have my dick out. Uh, uh, there's been, I had speculation about it, and I think I hit it as close as I could hit it. My thinking was the creators were doing a turnabout to balance out all of the knockers and hang out in film and TV. Women have had to have their knockers out since forever. Even if there's no sex, it's just the knockers have to come out. And they really easily could have made that point with me with one episode. I didn't really need a dick of the episode event, but we have that. So be forewarned. Caesar's ready to rock this thing. Oh, he might be doing some box holding. Where can you get fine entertainment like this? We are sitting here in dramatic silence, waiting for our cat to start chewing on a cardboard box. Uh, so we'll just carry on here, and if he starts chomping away there, I'm sure you will hear it. I'm excited, as I said, for May to roll around here. Uh, May's not traditionally the greatest month for comedies. Summer sucks for comedy. That's the way it goes. But I've got a nice May schedule set up. I'll be doing a fire hall in Reading area. I've got the Harrisburg Comedy Zone. I'm doing sure. When we listen to hear him chew, then he stops. But the box chewing's coming up there. So Caesar chomping away on the box. And we thought that would be actually more exciting than it turns out that it is. But so he's chomping away there. Um, I've been going over some stuff and trying to make some rewrites and stuff. The other thing I posted on my TikTok, which was a thing that I pounded out here on the live stream, which is one of the dumbest fucking things that there's, is getting a lot of action. Because people come to my shows and they expect to hear a lot of things about the Amish, and it's not really that funny. I mean, I've been doing this over 30 years. There's only so much Amish farming, horse and buggy jokes that you can do. So I set people up in my show a teeny tiny little bit. Okay, you want some Amish insider info. It's a stupid thing about eggs. Like Stoltz Foods eggs are way better than Yoder's eggs, but they cost a lot less. And it's so fucking stupid. But that's actually getting a lot of action right now. And again, this goes back to there's no politics in my show, but as soon as you say eggs, everybody goes fucking nuts. No politics in my show, but when I get all manure faced at the taffy pull from too many sauerkraut slammers, and I pass out, and I woke up when the buggy was in fucking Canada. Canada's political. Really, soon everything will be political, and I won't be able to do anything except. That's why we're trying to develop some of these Caesar the cat chewing on box things, because so far that is not political. But eggs shouldn't be political, and Canada should not be political. Let's see here. Yeah, this is the part Richter loves. Well, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to say. I hope you're happy there. You cheering me on to babbling fuck here. See, here was he, Chris Barrett. Okay, so now let's go back since I posted some shit. I have stuff ready in here that I didn't show you, and I'm not doing it. That shows you how fucking stupid I'm. Because like, I don't what I want to do. So let's go back to this right there. Okay. Okay, so I met Chris Barron at Sellersville Theater. They put him on the show to open for me. Uh, I was against it. I didn't know him, and he was doing a solo acoustic promotion of a CD he just released, and it was not the normal Spin Doctors rock. And so the Philly newspaper came up to interview him in my green room. What a charming man he was. I'm losing my fucking mind. He asked me if I would mind if he would sing because he had to warm up. And I'm trying to be going, well, I don't mind, but just try to sing something that I know so it doesn't fuck up my night. And he bust into a Spin Doctors Prince's song, and I'm losing my fucking mind. I'm the only one down there. Mrs. Comic wasn't there. I'm texting, oh my God, Chris Barron's here, serenading me, Spin Doctors fucking hit singles in the green room. I'm losing my fucking shit. So he did it for shitty money. And I can tell you that because I paid him half the shitty money. Sellersville Theater and myself co-pay an opening act. And that was one of my other complaints. I'm like, I don't want to fucking piss away my whole budget trying to pay a someday to be Hall of Fame rock star. So we paid him only $150 fucking dollars. He drove down from New York. He just wanted, he actually called up the theater and said, can you put me on the next sold out show? Happens to be mine. Wow, did we fucking hit it off. So a year or two later, we got to be, we're text buddies and all that shit, and a lot of fun stuff in it. So a year later, I peer pressured him into coming up to my and open for me. I hate to even say open for me to perform some songs uh, at my Penn's Peak show, and he and I had a teeny little bit of talk because I had seen the guy from Rent, Anthony Rapp, do it, and I said you could tell stories, man. You could tell stories because you're fucking Chris Barron and Spin Doctors. So you get to play a song and tell a story, play a song and tell a story. And he fucking did it. And he came out there. I might have told this last week, but it's part of what's going on here. And he goes out and he busts into the Prince's song. And then he stops. He goes, wow, I wrote that. I was like fucking 19 when I wrote that. And he went back into it. And we had such a wonderful time. Now, he had been married to Laura Bonatti, Broadway star, who we were big fans of him. We had this big idea to keep our mouths shut about that because Mrs. Comic was along, our daughter was coming along, and she was auditioning for Into the Woods, and was a show that we had seen Chris Barron's wife in. So we decided not to mention that at all. Now, Chris Barron and our daughter hit it off, and fuck me in a bucket of goo. They just were talking theater, this way and that, theater, and then she mentioned to him that she was auditioning for that show. She said, oh, I don't know if you know this, but my ex-wife was in that. And so he fucking brought it up. So that was actually kind of really amazing. And I want to show you something here. This shows you how much of a dick I am. Okay, so look. That's my green room. He's in it. He's allowed to be in it. I am talking to Chris Barron like I have fucking something important to say to him. And he's listening and he's laughing. What the fuck could I possibly have to say to a guy who's a Hall of Fame rock star who was on tour with the Rolling Stones? Somehow, I know you have an interesting life, but here's something for you. I don't even know what the fuck I told him. When I look at this picture, I'm like, what a fucking dick I am. Holy shit. Fuck me in a bucket of goo. So, I like how things all come around full circle like that. And Chris Barron, if you want to follow him on any social media, and the Spin Doctors, and I'll tell you for why. Again, no politics in my show, but I feel like the country is stressed out. There's a lot of uncertainty, and you can spin into the muck and mire, and we call it spinning in the mud. When you get sucked into social media. See, years ago, all the bad news would come to you when the news was on at 5 or 6 o'clock, and that was it. Now we're fucking pounded with bad news constantly. We can't escape it. It's on our phones. It's on our social media. You can't fucking escape it. And Chris Barron believes, and I believe this is very true, that, in fact, that's why he dumped Twitter that we all have a soul, a life force, a positive energy to put stuff out into the world. And that was sucking the joy out of him when that's a philosophy I happen to agree with, because over the years in show business, I could have turned into Jack Nicholson in The Shining 100 fucking times, and I have actually seen a professional therapist to try to balance being a human being and show business is a fucking ugly world. So this is my own personal philosophy, which taps into Chris Barron's. I think we all live on this thing, which I call the Mason-Dixon line of life, and the people that you know in your life only need to be able to exist to hold you there. If they rise you up, fuck yeah, that is a great friend. But if they pull you down, you have a big decision to make. You can reach down and try to pull them up if you think you can, but there is a risk that they'll grab a hold of you and pull you down into the shit. So when you have friends, they don't have to give you nothing, they don't have to do nothing. But if they pull you down below that fucking Mason Dixon line of life, you got to make some decisions, save them or fucking snip them. And that's basically a different version of Chris Barron saying we all have a soul and a life force, and you want to concentrate on things that help you have that come out in your life, like fucking cats that chew on cardboard boxes. Mrs. Comic over there is telling me there's cat ass in my face. So don't be afraid to protect the happy of your life. You don't have to be a dick, but you can also kind of hide from shit, you know. So that's such a positive influence in our lives. Chris Barron, nicest guy you want to meet. Holy shit, I should be as nice as him.
He does Catter Day.
He does. He's a try. Mrs. Comic said he does Catter Day. Uh, he'll retweet your cats and he'll send them birthday gifts and all kinds of shit. It's actually really kind of fun stuff. Here's a great story. A Chris Barron story. So he hooked us up with tickets to go see Spin Doctors a few years back, and it was his idea. And then Mrs. Comic and I went, and we didn't want to be dicks, so we just got two. And then he was like a little disappointed that we didn't ask for more tickets, so we got to go backstage. That was over at Arts Quest and talk to him. Really nice, fun guy. And then they were playing at the Hard Rock Cafe at Universal Studios in Florida. We have family down there, and they took care of us, so we got to see all kind of cool shit down there, and they hooked us up with free passes, and we were like just absolutely incredible. I said, hey, and this is all text. This is an Amish guy. Text him, or my buddy Chris Barron, Spin Doctor, is going to be down there. If you guys want to go, I can hook you up with seats. And they were so fucking excited. And something fucked up. It's 5 of 8. The show's ready to go. They were texting me. They hopped on a boat and they said they didn't have the tickets for us. It's no problem because they didn't believe I knew Chris Barron and could get the tickets anyway. So now they're like, we fucking told you he didn't know Chris Barron, and we weren't really planning on going anyway. So I, being the dick that I am, I texted Chris Barron, and I didn't really say anything. I just did like a break a leg thing, and he said, "Did your family get it?" I said, "No, the guys at the door didn't know who they were." And he goes, "Oh, motherfucking Brian, whoever." He already knew who was in charge of it, and he was fucking mad. He goes, "Fucking A." He goes, "I'll take care of it, but that's okay. It's fucking 3 minutes before 8 o'clock, and the show's gonna go on." He runs out, he fucking takes care of it, and I knew he would, so I texted him back. I said, "Put your fucking liquor down, get off that boat, because you can't take your liquor off the boat, and get your fucking asses back there." And they did, and he got them in, and that's the kind of guy he is. If you text me 3 minutes before I'm going to perform that you didn't get my comp tickets, I will go fucking Postal Susie on you. Holy motherfucker. But that's positive energy, and that is a good presence to have in your life. So if you're looking to bring some joy in there, rock that shit. Now let's move back to something that will make us all blush. That is me. And the year is unknown. I am on, I believe it is a motorcycle, but it seems kind of like something like a spaceship from Doctor Who episode. If you notice me, I don't think you've ever seen anybody look more uncomfortable than on a motorcycle in their entire life. This was from the RMC biker rally in Ole, Pennsylvania that as back in the, it had to be in the early 90s because my agent hooked it up. And I was never so afraid in my life. What it is that uh, Reading Motorcycle Club is in Oley, Pennsylvania. They actually own like a fairgrounds kind of camping park in the middle of fucking town. And every year they do this big rally, and it's a whole weekend thing. And bikers come from all over the fucking country. It's I don't know how many $100 to be at this thing for the weekend. And I was hired to tell horse and buggy Amish jokes and MC a wet T-shirt contest. So I have about 1,000 drunk bikers staring at me, watching me go. Uh, so I was driving a horse and buggy through Lancaster, and a horse threw a shoe, and the buggy just went around in circles for like. But they're just fucking staring at me, and to my right were the biker babes in bikinis. It was going to be a wet T-shirt contest, and they still had most of their clothes on. I knew there was no way in hell I was going to get through 15 minutes of horse and buggy jokes with bikers staring at me, waiting for the wet T-shirt contest to begin. So I said something like this. I'm there. Enough about me. Let's get on with the show here. And I started going. I'm supposed to go down and interview all the contestants and stuff. And I know where I am. So there's bikers there. And I said to the first one, I said, you could win this whole thing, but not with your clothes on. And the bikers cheered, Raymond is God! And they all fucking toasted me. And the bikini babe started ripping her tops off and all kinds of shit. And it wasn't even slutty, it was more about survival. So now, I was really afraid to do this thing. A friend of mine at the time, a big guy from the gym, he fucking begged me to come along. I can't just fucking bring someone along to this biker thing. And he said, I'll be your bodyguard. So the punchline there is, they actually gave me bodyguards. Big fucking bikers. Football player size biker bodyguards. Like fucking 6 of them walking around. And we had a whole pre thing. And they said, these are your bodyguards. Because I'm telling you this, there will be no trouble. Because there's all bikers here. And different gangs are here. And bikers do not want any trouble at a thing like this with bikers, especially us, because we are going to take in approximately $100,000 this weekend. We will gift 50,000 back to the town, so they fucking love us as long as there's no trouble. So I spent 3 months writing a piece of comedy about the Amish kids who were working with Hell's Angel roofers and got busted for cocaine. And they said, nope, that's off limits. We don't talk about that at all. In fact, you cannot even say Hell's Angel unless you are, in fact, a Hell's Angel. So, all right, fuck me. I wish I would have asked him 2 months before I wrote that fucking comedy right there. So, I went from being in complete terror and thinking I probably should have a bodyguard with me too. I never felt so fucking safe in my life with an army of 6 bikers that were so fucking tall you couldn't even see me when we fucking walked. And that's all I did. I was just on display, walking around and visiting people and going to the different events. And I by the second day, I got a little confident about shit because they took me around and they showed me their events and they gave me a microphone and I mocked some of their events. They had a pit with logs in it, like Fred fucking Flintstone logs, and the people were around it and cheering it, and a motorcycle would go in there, and the guy would ram the tire and it would spin like a motherfucker, and it wouldn't go anywhere. It spun the logs, and it burned the rubber off the tire, and smoke would go up in the air, and they'd cheer, and somehow they knew how to referee this, and people would win, and so they all were excited to know what my feelings were about this burn the rubber off the biker tire event was, and the cloud of smoke went up. Under what happens now? Do we just all go to Firestone and buy new tires? I don't really understand how this game works. And then they put me up in a tower to watch the drag races, and they were all smoking dope up there. And I said, now, are we allowed to smoke dope up there? And I was on the microphone, so that was my mistake up there. I didn't smoke any dope because I want to keep my head on straight. And so we're walking around there, and my bodyguards were walking me around, and the Hells Angels were going to dick with me, which I hadn't planned on since I wasn't allowed to say Hells Angels. So there's 4 or 5 of them were coming at me and my gang. It was very light and casual, but they were dicking with me. So one of them went and he did that thing where they do the finger, and when it hits you there, they basically are looking for trouble. So the one of them goes, I don't like how your Amish nitwits fucked up our drug dealing. We've been selling drugs for fucking hundreds and thousands of fucking years, and we don't get in any trouble because we don't get fucking caught. But you dumb motherfuckers fucked everything up, and then somehow now this was my fault. And I said, okay, I understand that, and it's not my fault. You thought the Amish were smart in the ways of, later on I'll go to not be in a show called Dope Thief, so that's something for you there. But I sidestepped him and I said, let me ask you something. I was told that I'm not supposed to say Hell's Angels. And I already said Hell's Angels there, saying that I'm not supposed to say Hell's Angels, so I fucking got away with it. Anyway, that's right. I said, but it says Hell's Angels right there on your jacket. So if I'm a dumbass and I just come up and I read your jacket, you would be liable to kill me. Is that correct? I said, that is correct. Fuck me in a bucket of goo. So they loved me. They absolutely loved me. I've got to be friends with the bikers. They wound up coming to a bunch of my shows. They came to a Boy Scout BYOB fundraiser, and they came as a gang of fucking 30, and they brought their coolers in and shit. And one of the reasons the bikers like me is I figured out some shit about them, and I used to incorporate it into my show, is that many people are afraid of the bikers for stupid reasons because they're always doing fucking things for the community and toy drives and things for veterans. All the fucking money that pumped into the Oli down there into the community. So the bit was I do before them. I said I'm in a McDonald's and like fucking 30 bikers come screeching in and fucking terror in that McDonald's that people wanted to hide under the tables and they wanted to know, oh my god, what are they doing here? Why are the bikers here? They're gonna fucking kill us. They're gonna abduct us. They're gonna throw us in the barbecue. They're gonna have sex with our women. And I said, maybe they're just hungry. And so the fucking bikers loved me for that. So that was some fun days there, and that was a good paycheck. And I also think that there is a 75-year anniversary, 100-year anniversary, like a fucking yearbook, and I'm in it. I'm in the biker rally yearbook. So that was a great thing, and I got a lot of jokes out of it. I make up some shit. Mostly everything I say is true, but one of the jokes that I should bring back into my show is walking around that biker rally. Never take anything from a biker that's in Tupperware. It says you want to try some Mammy's rat bastard fruit salad, but you kind of sort of have to because they get hurt feelings, when people offer you shit and you don't eat it. It's disrespectful. So, but never, you get a chance to not eat the Mammy's rat bastard fruit salad from the Tupperware at the biker rally. Don't do it because I sampled it and I stood in one spot for 3 days and I thought it was a fucking windmill. So this is what happens when I have a show with no theme. I just start babbling on and on about stuff. Where the heck Caesar? Caesar might be on Bearcat watch. So that was some fun stuff there. Let's see here. More fun stuff. So the Bearcat camera, the spy camera, is beamed into this teeny little iPad, which is now obsolete. Except Caesar kind of has his own iPad to watch Bearcat while Caesar is watching the baby eagles on YouTube. So and he'll watch both. There's our buddy. And last night, I think a big orange, we can't tell because it turns to night shift, but a really big fucking orange cat was out there eating all of Bearcat's food. Now what we're going to do here is, I think he has an idea. So what we're going to do is, Oh, this goes. This is one of these things where I did it to us. So when Caesar first came in the house, he was really afraid of us, and we were afraid of him. He didn't. I don't think he had contact with people or cats, and so I had an idea that these are called licking sticks. I call them licking sticks. They're actually churro. I'm not doing a commercial. They're it's like cat heroin. So I had these set up so we could get him to walk around the house, different places, and not chew my ankles. So when you do training like that, you can't just stop. You can't just say, okay, now we're used to you sitting on my lap in the bathroom to get your half a licking stick. Now that you sit on my lap, now we can't do licking sticks anymore. That is completely wrong. So he will come over, and there's three things he wants from me: either a game, or a licking stick, or a little petting, or combination of the three. And I gotta figure out which one of those fuckers it is. And if I guess wrong, you let me know, don't you? Oh, see, after the licking stick, there's a floor treat. Now, I should have something to put this in. Is he gonna chew? Can you get me that trough? Because now I am stuck here. He never eats only half the licking stick. Mrs. Comic on the way with a trough, and she's trying to navigate it in her earplugs. So I'm going to put this here, like that. And also, now my hands are a mess. So Mrs. Comic said if she can do anything for me,
Yeah.
I should ask her. But now I'm asking her, and she's all confused, and her earplugs are. So I need a hand something now. Where are you going to get live entertainment like this? I fed the cat the licking stick. There's goo on my hands. Mrs. Comic's walking around here trying to find a not one of them ass wiper things, but something wet. You know, those moist things. Uh-oh. And she didn't open it, Mrs. Comic. Put me on the spot here. Now I have to open a fucking wet one on a live stream. What if I can't do it? Holy fuck. Yes, Caesar's looking. Yeah, this is your fault. And then Richter's fault. Right now, Mrs. Comic and Richter and Kat have formed a club. They make me look a little more foolish. All right, so there's that. Celebrate that feast right there. So now this goes back to Caesar is such a trip. I have this thing where I named a few cats in the family person cat. It's person cat status. They're not just a regular pet. There's something about them where they connect with people. Caesar has achieved person cat status by virtue of wanting to do all the stuff that people do. You saw he helped me on the keyboard here. He helped me with TikToks. He helped me with the taxes, which is kind of nice because I might get audited this year because when they say, did you have anyone help you with your taxes? I actually put down Caesar, the cat, help me. So if anything fucks up, Mrs. Comic is so worried. We're not getting audited. I see it, so holy fuck, are we getting audited? I didn't really do that. It was a thing. It was a thing done for humor.
Yeah.
See, wasn't that funny though? It was the reality right there. So there's that right there. Now, I think I'm out of stuff, Richter. This theory about you having me babble is fraught with problems. Let's see here. Um, I'll give it a little plug, even though I don't do much of ZZO anymore. I'm not going to be there, but Keith, fantastic. We're still in contact. They're doing, and thank God I'm booked elsewhere because I didn't really want to do it. When you offer the thing, you kind of sort of have to do it. But to my way of thinking, we're time traveling in the wrong direction. At the Great Allentown Fair on a Saturday in August, I turned down this gig. It's a radio gig, so it doesn't pay, so that makes it a little easier to turn down. To be a judge for a mullet contest, and there's an adult division and a kid division. So if that's the kind of thing you think you would really enjoy, go to the Allentown Fair at the Farmerama, August 30th. It's the last Saturday in August, and you will see the mullet contest. But I won't be a judge, and I'm here to tell you, I appreciate when they ask me to do stuff like that, but I haven't burped all episode, so things are back on schedule. If you are asked to judge anything in public, don't fucking do it. Don't fucking do it. It's horrible. Over my 34-year career, I have judged a karaoke contest. I have judged a pregnant bikini contest. I have judged a Halloween contest. And especially if there's alcohol involved and prize money and the contestants and their significant others have access to you, it is a fucking hell and a horror show. And also, oh, my alarm's going off. That means I hit my daily minimum requirement of live streaming. So, um, I don't know how many of you are connected to this area or not, but I'm going back um, probably in the 90s. Thanks for swacking me in the head with that tail. Uh, there was actually somebody called the Mullet Man, and of course he had a mullet, and which I believe is, sorry if any of you have mullets, but I believe the mullet is a hair fashion that should become illegal, and if you have one, get rid of it, and if you know someone that has one, you should be a little bit leery of them because the mullet is a thing like from fucking a different fucking time period. So the Mullet Man actually played guitar, and he came to one of my shows up in the mountains around the Stroudsburg area, actually kind of sort of in the neighborhood of the Mahoning Valley Drive-In. Check them out. Make sure you get the fucking drive-in this year. But the Mullet Man had an idea where he and I would do a thing together. And I really, the, the idea of me partnering with anyone is fucking nuts. Um, because A, I'm my own babbler. I can't co-babble. I got all the babbling covered myself. And B, there's no fucking money for a partner. There's no fucking money for a sidekick. So I had to be diplomatic. And then he actually followed me. And then I had to fucking pull one of those moves you see in the cop movies and shit. And because he said he was, I think he said he was going to come to see where I lived so he could continue somewhere. Fuck me. So I made an escape. And if you're going Lehighton across that bridge around a turnpike area, coming back from everything on the other side, there's an island for going south or going straight across the bridge. And I made it seem like I was going right. And then he was right on me, and I actually turned onto the island and I drove over the island, and I got pulled over right across the spot. And I explained to the cop that I was being chased by the Mullet Man, and if I wouldn't have said it was a humorous thing, he probably would have went to go arrest him. So the cop congratulated me for successfully evading the Mullet Man. He spotted me my dick move when I explained my situation, and he said that was a great move, and it wasn't, you didn't try to kill anyone. So congratulations. So another reason I'm happy I'm not judging the mullet contest is it's already giving me flashbacks from this days of the Mullet Man. And I was texting Keith from ZZO, and he said, I forgot about the Mullet Man. Well, maybe if he would have chased you from the Poconos home, you'd fucking remember about the Mullet Man. You ever think about that? Maybe the horror wouldn't be so passive to you if you were a fucking target of the Mullet Man. Be ye aware of the Mullet Man. And also, this is going to sound like I'm an all pretentious douchebag dick. The Allentown Fair crowd scares me a little bit anymore for stupid reason. I'm not really famous, but I'm recognizable. I'm back in the day when our daughter was little, and we'd go to the fair, and I'd spend $95 throwing ping pong balls into a thing to win 87-cent goldfish that would die in a week. We'd go over there, and people who knew me would yell shit from my show. I'm walking around my daughter. Hey, Raymond, you scrapple sucking fuck. You bearded prick, you dog ass, you oh, fuck me in a bucket of goo. So I have memories that are somewhat bad from going to these kind of public things. So I mean that's pretty much it. Caesar's here. He wants me to wrap this up because he has a plan. for us to do something. And in fact, a lot of times he comes in and he looks right at me and he goes, I don't have a plan, but I want you to have a plan. So he wants me to think up shit. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you this right now. Oh, check this shit out. I say he wants to do everything we want to do. This is what I'm up against. Right there. He's not allowed in the basement, but he's going to get that fucking door open one of these days. He's trying to tunnel under there, and he watches us. He knows that somehow that doorknob is how you get into the basement, and I think he's going to do it sometime. He's going to let our guard down, and that's going to be it. So there you have it. I think I'm going to wrap things up here, and we'll leave you with this adorable couple. Caesar helping me do shit. Right there. That's one. Smash his head right into the phone. He doesn't give a shit. And here's the other one. He got me there. He's ready to go right here. Mrs. Comic and I thank you for tuning in. Surround yourself with positive, fun stuff in the world. Stay away from shit that makes you really fucking angry. And have a great week. Caesar and I are going to do something. I don't know what we're going to do, but he's got a plan for me. All right, Richter, this is your fault. If anybody's unhappy, just write to Richter, care of me. All right, here we go. There's that. This stream ending right there. Do that.